8:49 p.m. Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We are at Clear Lake, one of my favorite fisheries by far in the world, definitely in California when it's on. Man, it's just, I can really say the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been such a hit or miss place. I feel like I've been saying that with a lot of places I've been fishing lately, but it's just what it is for me and what I've experienced. But same deal for this fishery. When it's on, it's amazing. When you find the fish, they're biting. It's a lot of fun out here, but it can be a grind too. The 2 trips that we've come up this past year, one was in the late winter, the other one was in the spring. The late winter, 2 days of fishing, 0 bites, 0 fish, big fat skunk. Last time around in the spring, kind of cherry picked that time just because they're obviously easier to catch. You can see them, they're up shallow doing their thing. Bite was better, caught some fish on day 1, but day 2, it was a grind. Even those fish that we could see swimming around, up shallow, spawning, super tough to catch. So I don't know, man, it's just been one of those places that I don't know if it's me or just coming at the absolute worst time sometimes, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we're here at a good time and we can get on some fish. But here for the next couple of days, like I said, it is about 4 o'clock. Gonna be fishing all of tomorrow, Tuesday, and then probably a half or full day on Wednesday, and then head back home. But one thing that I did bring, probably noticed it, was that big black backpack. That actually has a boat in it, an inflatable kayak. And I knew I was coming to this place, this Airbnb this time around, and obviously we're right on the water, as you can see right there. You know, and for my normal kayak, which, yes, I don't even know if I can call it a kayak at this point, but let's just face it, it's a big kayak, it's a big boat, it's heavy. Lugging that, I don't even know if I'd be able to get it from the parking lot to the backyard without going through the house. So anyways, that's just too much, it's too big, and perfect solution, inflatable kayak. Got my black pack with me, bring a few rods, a tackle box or 2, and just fish out in the backyard, which of course does connect to Clear Lake. So that is the reason for that big old black case. Definitely gonna be doing some fishing out of that tonight. But no agenda to this video really, just sharing my experience with you guys, trip to Clear Lake. And you know what, before I go any further, I do have to shout out this Airbnb like I always do, because honestly I believe this is a great Airbnb for, well, anyone that wants to come to Clear Lake, but specifically the fishermen, the anglers, whether you're kayak fishing, you're boat tournament fishing. We'll just start out here. So you can see the driveway, super spacious. I mean, of all Airbnbs that I've stayed at, and we've stayed at a handful over the years, this is definitely the best driveway parking situation for me and my buddies when the whole crew's here and we're all doing a tournament. And we've got, you know, a combination of trailers, kayaks, sometimes 6, 7, 8 of us. We're always looking for good parking, safe parking. We'd hate to park on the street, and this is the perfect parking situation. So from now on, I'll tell you what, from now on when we come to Clear Lake, hopefully sooner rather than later for tournaments, once they get rolling here again, this will be our first option. Safe area, that's another thing. Just FYI, for those of you who have not been up this way, kind of gotta pay attention to where you're going. Certain areas around the lake aren't the greatest, so just be mindful of that. And I can say that this area is nice and safe, it's quiet, there's no traffic, so it's just a really good location. You feel secure with your stuff, and that probably is something any boat guys out there would be wanting as well. Great kitchen, laundry, everything, appliances you need for the kitchen. Got the fridge, stocked up some snacks and some food there, though I'm sure we'll be going out to dinner at some point, maybe with the old coach. Gotta text the coach. I think coach is gonna go fishing with us one of these nights. We'll have to text him, see what he's doing. Sleeping situation is always a second or maybe third or fourth priority for us. Obviously with 6 or 7 dudes, we're not trying to all sleep on the floor or in the same room, especially with the snoring gang. This has been designated in the past few times we've been here as the snorers room. I don't know if it's soundproof, but we usually just lock them in there and they can do their thing at night. Another nice bedroom here. I guess it's the master bedroom, but again, you've got a couple of beds here. It's comfortable. I mean, realistically, you could probably put 6 to 10 people in this place, no problem, and everyone would feel comfortable. Another bathroom here, shower. So obviously that's a good thing to have. Well, we'll keep going. Turn you this way. This is kind of our tackle table right here. We've always done our tackle on this table. Some good seating around this area to do rigging, stuff like that. Nice tall ceilings, which, believe it or not, helps a lot when you have rods in the house. Yeah, just a nice seating area here. Sure, in the winter, if it gets a little cooler, if you guys venture here in the winter, you got a fireplace. And then another bed, which is usually where I stay when I'm soloing it. So probably stay there right next to the AC. And then the patio. This is pretty cool. And one of the reasons I really like this place in particular is you've got this nice patio out here. Obviously, if you guys have a boat, you can launch it and put it right up on the dock right there. Or actually, last time we were here, me and Dutch actually came down here and there were some fish spawning right there. But you know what's interesting is this is actually a lot lower. The water's actually dropped, I'd say at least 4 feet since the last time we were here. which I guess that would have been 2-3 months. It's dropped about 4 feet. No matter for the dock though, so I don't know. Pretty cool little slough though. It's on in the springtime. This thing is loaded with fish. Some good duckweed too. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be fishing this tonight. Definitely be taking Mr. Kermit out. Probably some other baits. Actually, I was just at Clear Lake Outdoors. I was talking to Dave. I got my stickers, muscle stickers. As always, it kind of gives me a little bit of a hint or, an idea. No waypoints or anything like that, of course, but just gives me an idea what the bite's like, what they're biting, if they're hitting top water, reaction, stuff like that. And I'll sit out here. Unfortunately, he did say that the frog bite was pretty non-existent. Even though August typically is the time I've had some of the best frog fishing in my life here at Clear Lake, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not going to spend all day throwing a frog if it's not getting bit. He said more reaction stuff, more bait pattern stuff. I guess there's been a lot of hitch in the lake, and that has been mainly what these fish have been feeding on. So I guess they've kind of ignored like frogs and crawfish presentations. They've been really focused on that bait profile. But with all that said, I'm going to get settled in real quick, unpack a few more things, and then let's bust out that inflatable kayak, blow her up, get it rigged up, and head out on the water for some evening fishing at Clear Lake. Maybe a little hint. So we'll see you then. Might have to invest in an electric pump if I'm going to do this more often. Whew. Hopefully none of this end up making the blooper reel, if you know what I mean. Find out though. It's a lot firmer than I thought it'd be, blowing it up all the way. I didn't even go to the max PSI rating either. Probably could have gone a few more minutes of pumping. There's a little give, but even still, this feels like rock solid. Pegs. Feeler for it. I don't know. 3. Seems pretty stable, secure. Guess we'll find out. All right, almost there. And this is gonna keep everything so simple, but I feel like I always bring way too much crap. That. All right. Well. I think this is going to be interesting, guys. This will be very interesting. A little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I know nothing will happen, but it's that fear of the unknown, doing something you've never done before. Not really fear, it's kind of like a good anxiety, but should be good. There we go. That works. Well, she floats. It's a good start. Dude, I cannot believe there's not a frog bite going on here. Look at all this grass. It's like there's so much of it, you know? You'd think that they'd be busting through on a frog, but I don't know, maybe they're just not. All right, so far so good. We're floating. This is like old school kayak fishing. Probably stick back here for a minute just to kind of get a feel for this. Pretty cool. Feels plenty stable. Very similar to like the Slayer Max 10, honestly. Definitely glides through the water good. I mean, I think the weight of this entire package, not including like the black pack and stuff, is 36 pounds, I want to say. Well, might as well get started. Of course, I'm throwing the one thing they told me that wasn't working, but you don't know until you try. Tell you what, catching a big fish in this thing, it's gonna definitely pull you towards them. Man, I can't believe I didn't get any fry blow-ups. Say, this paddle's pretty good. The foot pegs are actually a nice little touch. Obviously having a paddle, not use a pedal drive, gives you something to kind of brace on, which is nice. It's kind of cool though, I like this. I think the only thing is if I do this more, like I said, electric pump will be a must. Windblown bank. Granted, I don't know how deep exactly it is, but it feels like there's some decent depth here. Maybe even too deep. Got some birds setting up. You'd think there'd be some bass here. Some grass, but not as much as years past. This area I'm fishing usually has tons of grass, and again, the water is still higher even though it came down since the spring, but I'm usually seeing grass topped out over here for sure. There's nothing really. The big question will be is where we launch tomorrow. So many options on this lake. If anything, I'm surprised we haven't hooked into even like a catfish. Usually this time of year, if you don't get a bass bite, you get a catfish bite. Could be a little bit of a train wreck from this platform without a net or any grips. Cats in here get huge. They're fun though, because they hit bass baits, chatterbaits, jigs. It is a violent bite from these Clear Lake cats. I feel like you have that giant bass for 2 or 3 seconds and then you know pretty much it's not. Actually picking up. Oh, it's supposed to die down at nighttime. Dang. I don't want to push my luck too much tonight. Oh, there we go. Uh-oh, that feels like a kitty. Dang it. No, 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 no. Yeah. Alright, time for a sleigh ride. This will be interesting. Or it's a 10-pounder. I don't know. It's like catfish. Like 99.9% sure. Oh, come here, dude. Dude, it's a light line too. Usually I catch these on a chatterbait, and I've got 17 pound on that, so I can dog them a little bit, but I can't dog them on this setup. Let's see how I want to land you there, sir. I guess we'll go here. This will be interesting. Come here. You gotta be tired. I'm tired. There we go. Well, first inflatable kayak fish. Good size. Oh, dude, that was fun. Whew. Oh, God, I do want to stay out longer. A little bit much here. Yeah, I think on that note, I'm not going to push my luck too much today or tonight. Got a full day of fishing ahead of us tomorrow anyways. And I'll definitely be taking this back out here tomorrow evening. So let's fish our way in, actually. You know what? Actually, I'm getting kind of greedy. Let's go chatter. These waves are getting a little decent here. A little decent. Yeah, definitely one thing I'd bring next time with wind. Oh my God, I got one on the fall. Oh, that's another catfish, I think. Dang it, it is. Another load of catfish. Am I really gonna do that all again? Why did I not bring pliers? That's tough. Dude, when they're biting, I don't care if they are. I want to keep fishing.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey. Oh, just dealing with that. A tree fall down in my backyard and land on my neighbor's shed and a bunch of shit going on, you know.
Oh.
Typical day in the neighborhood.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say something to play a joke on you, but now I'm not gonna because it'd be mean. I was gonna say, come help me. I'm stranded, but I'm not.
Well,
Because you wouldn't help me probably. You'd be pissed.
just send somebody else to help you.
Oh, thanks. No, I was gonna say I launched out of the backyard of that Airbnb, and right at the end caught a big catfish on a chatterbait.
Yeah, the catfish are crazy.
Are they?
That's all I've been hearing. Everybody's catching catfish on everything.
It was fun. I didn't get any bass, but they were like literally right out at the mouth.
I actually haven't even heard anything about. I haven't even been talking to anybody. I know that the catfish are biting. That's all I know.
Shoot, at least something's biting. Are you fishing Wednesday? Are you gonna be able to fish Wednesday?
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah.
What about tomorrow night after work?
I'm not sure. I might have to deal with some tree to see what's going on.
Okay, I was gonna say, let me know tomorrow if you want to. There's actually a little side gate I noticed to the side of the house. If you just bring your boat with literally a pedal drive and a rod, we can probably just go whack on catfish if you want.
Yeah, figure something out. All right.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Later. All right, folks, it is, what time? 7:38, almost 8 o'clock. We're off the water. First trip out in an inflatable kayak, or really a sup. I'd say success. Didn't flip, didn't pop. Caught catfish, which is fun. don't get me wrong, but no bass. But so yeah, kind of success there. I will say this, and I know it's not the same, but for you guys who still, and I don't even know how many are left, but for you guys that still consistently use a paddle only kayak and fish, round of applause. My goodness. I mean, I did it way back in the beginning of kayak fishing like 10, 11 years ago, but man, to still do it now, it definitely takes a different skill set to be able to maneuver your boat. And I know I didn't have everything, you know, set up like anchor, stuff like that, but there's definitely a skill set in positioning the boat and casting. We get spoiled with these pedal drives and motors and stuff. If you get back into a bare bones kayak with just a paddle, it's a lot harder. So anyways, shout out to all you folks who still paddle a fishing kayak. But no, good fun trip out there. Glad to get into some fish. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it felt like being in my Falcon 11 as far as stability goes. Obviously, being so light, it wasn't as fast, but I could turn that thing on a dime, which is pretty cool. And had there been less wind, or even if it was glass cam out there, I think that would have been a lot more enjoyable to fish out of. The other reason I brought this too was because I was thinking tomorrow night, I don't know, there are a ton of places, I'm looking at the old Clear Lake map right there, there are a ton of places off the side of the road, interesting places where you can launch a boat or a kayak. It's pretty challenging, and I was thinking that particular craft, that inflatable, would be a perfect just throw and go kind of kayak. And of course, in the future, maybe we'll try it at some different places like the Delta or some backwater sloughs. I don't know. Kind of a nice little tool to have. Man, if you just want to get out on the water, got a rod or two, highly recommend the blow up inflatable. I was definitely on the fence going into today. Now I can totally see where this would be pretty sweet to have in given situations. Day one or half day one over the evening, and game plan for tomorrow is to launch at Barretos Marina. Yeah, we're gonna launch there, fish around that area of the lake. Another thing that I noticed out there is lack of grass. In the past, I've really had better luck catching frogfish on Clear Lake when there's grass and 4 to 10 foot of water. It tops out and mats over, and I just didn't see any of that. So I don't know if it's the high water or if they spray it or what, but lack of that kind of explains to me why maybe people are saying the frog bite's pretty non-existent. So I can believe that, but not a bad start to the trip. I'll certainly take it. And other than that, I am going to kick my feet up, relax, and I will see you guys bright and early for another day out on Clear Lake. A frog in there real quick. Already a ton of activity. That's a crazy thing about Clear Lake in the summer. First thing in the morning, like every morning, just madness. Fish busting, fish jumping. It's like almost overwhelming. Fish right here. So many choices. That's one of the crazy things too, and I'm not sure how it's going to be this time around, but more often than not, I don't know why, but these fish are really picky as far as bait selection goes. Like if you don't have the right color, the right size, you're not going to get bit. You have to have like almost everything perfect for those fish to commit to a bait certain times. That was bass, 100%. That was bass. What do you guys want? I got bit. First cast with a jig. There we go. Feels like a bass. Doesn't feel like a kitty. Alright, jig it is. Probably a typical Clear Lake bass, right? Like a 3-pounder. It's gonna jump. Yeah, it's a little one. Alrighty. No skunk, that's good. Just a fatty. Thank you, sir. Hopefully there's a little group of them right here. The fish definitely hit it on the fall. There we go. Alright, finally found some fish. Alright. Another nice one. Oh boy, I hope you guys stay put. That was some fun today. It's like 4. Just about a 4. Yeah, let's net it. Oh, jeez. There we go. Oh boy. Oh. Dude. Clear Lake, man. Tell you what, that is a fatty right there. Get a weight on that one. The measurements on these fish are crazy. It's got to be a 4, right? It's a 458 or 465. Just for reference, 465, 4.5 pounder. It's only an 18.5 inch fish here. That's why it's like so hard to crack 100 inches on this lake in the kayak tournaments. These fish are really big and you see these huge, 25, 30 pound bags, but it's just not like that. These fish are short and stout. Man, there must have been a huge school of fish right here somewhere. I'm not sure. Gotta relocate them. Alright, maybe move out a little deeper. Jeez. Oh, choked it though. Yeah, some chokeage right there. Man, that's like a 15-incher. Just fat though. Stupid fat. 15-inch, probably, I don't even know. 3.5 pounder? 286. I guess we're weighing them today. There's madness going on. down below us. This is something I'm not really used to on this body of water. Clear Lake for me, like my best bites have always been shallow topwater, frog, punch. Fishing deep is something I'm not really confident in doing here, but I'm not gonna say no to it. I'm sure once I pluck one of these fish out of the school, they all kind of scatter. I'm sure that's what's going on, and you just gotta cycle through them again. That's like a baby Clear Lake bass. Little guy. Alright, well, at least here we're dragging jigs. There we go. Oh my god, it's a baby one. That is a baby bass. Dang. It's like a 12-incher. They're kind of rare here, I feel like. You look at the kayak tournaments, you don't see a lot of 12-inch bass being scored or caught. They're usually 15 plus, which is kind of odd. You'd think that there'd be more 12-inchers in here, but they just grow so fast, apparently. There we go. Oh, little guy. Underspin fish, eh? And another small one. There we go. Oh, a dogfish. Oh, it's a good one. There we go. Oh my goodness. Man, it's been a while since I've caught a Clear Lake dogfish. Easy, buddy. Well, that is a nice sign right there. Obviously, there are a lot of docks on Clear Lake. Yeah, that was like the trip the past couple of years when the bite got really tough here. It was like in the past, you could go catch fish off of docks, no problems. When the bite got really tough in the summer and the fall, you could not catch a fish off a dock. Just so strange. It's like a 2-pounder, 2.5 pounder. I'm not gonna bother weighing them. The good news too is usually where there's one fish under a dock, there's a couple at least. Man, I'm really hoping for a topwater bite. Just wouldn't be Clear Lake in the summer without a topwater bite. Wait, does that count? That is a scupper fish. Oh my god, we're just talking about it. I think that was a taunting message from Clear Lake. Give me that fish on a topwater bite when I'm asking for it. I guess I gotta be more specific. A 5-pounder on a topwater, please? Oh my god, a bunch of little ones following it. They're just like Berryessa. Dang, that was a bass busting up there. Something just got crushed in that Thule patch right there. There we go. I think that was the fish I saw blow up. That was a good one. Nice. Fatty. Man, a little flip fish. That's cool. A 3-pounder or so. That's exactly where I saw that fish blow up. I don't know if that's the same one or what, but maybe a little hint. I wouldn't mind a little flipping bite. It's time for a stick. Look at that little storage area. Perfect area for jerky sticks right there. This one's got a little heat to it. A little bit of heat. Oh, there we go. Got a little toolie bite going on. Feels like a good one. Yikes. That's gotta be a 5. 5 yonder. There we go. Nice. A little boss grub. Nope. 3.5, 4 maybe. Another hefty fish though. Meaty. Okay, folks. Well, I guess this is a mid-trip update, intermission, so to speak. Off the water, back at the Airbnb, charging some batteries up, restocking a few baits. We're definitely gonna get back out on the water, probably in about an hour or two. But yeah, not a bad morning. Not a bad morning of fishing. As soon as we launched, typical Clear Lake, first thing in the morning when that sun rises, that lake just comes to life. It's calm, you can just see all the fish jumping, the fish busting, bass, carp, catfish, everything. All the bait everywhere flicking around, birds, just so much life out there on Clear Lake. It's a really cool sight to see. And yeah, I had all my baits, all my rods ready to go. Hooked a left out of Brados. Made my way to a pretty big community hole, big rocky point. I fished my way up there essentially, throwing a lot of different baits, chatterbait, crankbait, some topwater stuff. And I actually decided to change over to a little football jig, tiny finesse football jig. And I think as soon as we tied it on, first cast, got bit, which I think was on the fall. Because as soon as I made that cast, my line just started swimming off. And I think I must have ran into a school of feeding fish right there because we caught that one. A few casts later, another bite. Anywhere between, I'd say 5 and 15 foot of water. These weren't deep fish, but I think they were actively feeding fish, and we just happened to come across them on that particular spot. Ended up getting a couple more out of that area, all on the jig. Had to kind of work it a little bit. These fish would reposition and move, so it's kind of hard for me to stay on top of them, but eventually that bite fizzled out. Kept going, decided to explore a little bit more of the lake, check a few more areas that I wanted to check. Essentially was just doing a lot of junk fishing. I think we hooked into one on the underspin. Did catch a dock fish, which is nice, on a drop shot, weedless drop shot rig, but didn't fish a lot of docks. Ended up going to a couple of other areas that replicated the first spot, worked it with a jig, some other baits, came up empty, so ended up checking the first spot again, came up empty again. And yeah, I mean, a lot of what people are saying is true. These fish are definitely grouped up. You run into a little pack of them, you definitely should milk it for all it's worth. Other than that, you're kind of junk fishing, looking for a bite or two. At least that's my experience. Wind did start to pick up. I'm not sure if that maybe started another feeding frenzy around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And one thing that's trip here is you can literally hear the bass bust on bait at all times of day. Definitely in the morning, definitely low light conditions, but right in the afternoon, sun's up, you can hear these fish blowing up on bait. Usually it's in the tulies, and I did actually see one blow up some bait right on the corner of a tule. Went over there, threw the underspin a little bit, didn't get bit, decided to pick up just a little Texas rig grub, black and blue, nice thin profile, 1/2 ounce weight on her. Just gets through those tulies real good. And I think after a couple of casts, ended up landing on one's head. Whether or not it was the fish that we saw bust, not sure, but it's another solid fish. Again, all these fish today, just fat Clear Lake bass. These fish almost always seem like pre-spawn fish. There's just so much bait in this lake that they're always on the munch. It's just an endless supply of food for them. So really nice fat fish today for sure. Tried a few other areas, fished some more tulies, ended up getting one more tule bite on the boss grub. Yeah, kind of called it early today. Only spent maybe about 5.5, 6 hours out there, but as I mentioned, I do plan on getting back out there later this evening. We're gonna try a different launch. I think we'll try something close by, not exactly sure. And then maybe we'll meet up with the coach as well well later tonight, but definitely tomorrow. But guys, that is going to do it for this video, this series part 1 at Clear Lake. Much better fishing, I'd say, than the previous 2 trips we've come, this year at least, and definitely excited to get back out on the water this evening. But as always, guys, I thank you for coming along on these adventures, these trips, and I will see you guys in the next video for part 2.